Hi everybody, welcome back to Hoax Talks. It is Monday, November 27th, 2023. Hope all of you had a enjoyable Thanksgiving weekend and hopefully got to spend some quality family time with loved ones. We are back to the grind here at the office today. Lots of emails to respond to, lots of files to review, documents to draft and get out the door and get filed with the court. Appreciate all of you tuning into the channel. The response has been exceptional and means a lot to me. If you are getting something out of the content, please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the like button and hit the bell notification so you're notified when I put up a new video, which I'm trying to do pretty much every day. Most importantly, please share these videos with the family and friends and those around you, even in your work circles, so we can continue to wake people up as this collapse unfolds. And the articles I'm going to share with you today are no exception. The news that keeps getting trickled out appears to be getting worse and worse every day. Again, what I'm trying to do is just report to you the data as it unfolds and the news that I believe is most important for all of us to be focusing on right now. With that being said, the biggest item that stuck out to me today from the news has to do with regard to new home sales. We know that existing home sales have been declining rapidly month over month and year over year. But the new home sales have, at least until now, been more resilient to the falling prices. In this case, the reason why is the home builders have been better at subsidizing buyers, buying down the interest rate, offering incentives to get into a new home. This article's out of the Zero Hedge today. It says new home sales hammered in October as home builders hit the wall and prices plunge. This is from today. It says, with existing home sales collapsing to their lowest SAAR since 2010, new home sales are the only pillar left holding up any hope in the U.S. housing market. However, with housing affordability at its lowest since at least the early 1980s, and new home builder sentiment slumping as mortgage rates have been rising, it's no surprise that the analysts expected new home sales in October to tumble 5% month over month after their unexpected 12.3% surge in September, it says. It says the Mortgage Bankers Association index of home purchase applications tumbled to 120, the lowest level since 1995. As mortgage rates, we know, have hit 8% for the first time in 23 years in October. The rates have backed off a little bit, but they're still extremely high by all measures. It says, so it should be no surprise that new home sales were even worse than expected, plunging 5.6% month over month. And making it even worse, the 12.3% month over month jump in September was revised downward to a positive 8.6%. So again, you have these initial numbers come out, your cheerleaders pump up the numbers, and then you get successive revisions. They're hoping no one's paying attention to the revisions, but the real information is in the revisions. So we have 5.6% month over month plunge in new home sales now, and we have the number revised downward from a positive 12.3% last month to a positive 8.6%. That's a substantial revision, folks. And it says the trend of downward revisions continues. And it talks about how home builders simply cannot afford anymore to fill the gap and to subsidize the buyers. And what's this going to do? In my opinion, you're going to see not only prices start coming down further and further, but you're going to start seeing more inventory hit the market. And this is going to further dilute prices. And this could be the beginning of a spiral effect that's going to be impacting new home sales. Existing home sales are already in horrible shape. It says the median new home price, listen to this, fell 17.6% year over year to $409,300 with an average selling price of $487,000. That's the lowest median home price since August of 2021 and catching back down to existing home sales prices. So we need to be paying attention to this. If you are thinking about buying a new home, again, I'm not giving you financial advice or legal advice, but think about waiting a bit longer. If you bought into the market a new home last year, guess what? You're down. And these prices, in my opinion, are going to continue to slide, and there will be great opportunities to acquire real estate, I believe, into next year and the year after. So keep your powder dry, wait for these opportunities to unfold. It's going to be, unfortunately, at the misery of a lot of people who are going to find themselves in a dire situation with their homes, depending on when they bought, after they're locked into a high interest rate. Okay, next article, 25%. Going back to the broke consumers, 25% of Americans are still paying off 2022's holiday debt, if you can believe that. This is out of Zero Hedge today. And it says, a new report from CNBC and Wallet Hub says, it's a survey that revealed the result of an online survey taken, and it says, skipping payments. More than 1 in 3 Americans are foregoing gifts this year due to inflation. Lingering holiday debt. Nearly 1 in 4 Americans still have holiday debt from last year. And what are they doing? They're piling on more debt this year. Nearly 1 in 5 people will apply for a new credit card to help with holiday shopping. You know how it is. You get to the cash register at Macy's or some department store, and they say, hey, if you apply for a new credit card today, we'll give you a 10% discount. So, the credit card companies are out there trying to get people to take on more debt. Don't fall for the trap. It says nearly half of Americans say their charitable giving is affected by inflation. I think that goes without saying. 28% of people will spend less than last year on their holiday shopping. And 23% of Americans are planning to make a holiday purchase based upon social media. As of November, the mean interest rate on credit cards has surged from 16% to almost 21%. Listen to this. Even a modest $1,000 balance from last year's holiday gifts would keep someone in debt for 40 months and cost them $390 in interest if they can only make minimum payments at the current average rate of 20.72%. So, it's amazing to me that the layers of debt just keep getting piled onto the consumer. And do the consumers bring this on themselves? Absolutely. Do the consumers control the interest rates that are being charged by the credit card companies? Absolutely not. But you have to understand this is a reality, and these rates may not come down anytime soon. So if you have debt lingering from 2022's purchases, I sincerely hope and suggest that you'll be able to get that retired, get that behind you, and with any luck, you did not go into further debt this year to acquire a bunch of needless gifts. Consumers use buy now, pay later option to fund record Black Friday purchases. I touched on buy now, pay later a couple days ago. This is a current article from today on Zero Hedge. And see, they gather this data quickly because online purchases, they can get immediate feedback on the how much is being spent and how these consumers are buying the items. This article says, according to Bloomberg, data showed consumers were putting more purchases on flexible payments. Consumers were gobbling up electronics, smartwatches, TVs, and audio equipment last Friday, with sales of those electronics up 7.5% compared with the previous year. says data showed consumers were increasingly resorting to buy now, pay later options, which jumped, listen to this, 72% compared to the week before Thanksgiving. The buy now, pay later option is surging because consumers are balancing other debt, such as student loan or other credit card debt, amidst the highest interest rates in a generation. These short-term loans, it says, allow consumers to make installment payments over a few months. And it says younger consumers are struggling with access to credit cards, are frequently turning to buy now, pay later options. What that means is struggling with access to credit cards. Either they've maxed out their credit cards or their credit score is so poor and so bad that they cannot obtain new credit cards to take on new debt. Or they've defaulted in their credit cards and they are having collection issues, and that's again driven down their credit score, thereby preventing them from taking on additional credit. So this is a slippery slope, folks, this buy now, pay later. It basically just fuels, and from my perspective, irresponsible behavior, irresponsible spending. These are the people that should not be given options to take on more debt and to kick the can down the road for things that they don't need. So the consumer is crumbling. The debt levels are getting worse. I don't know what to tell you other than please consider doing your absolute best if you can, even incrementally, to pay that debt down. I was talking to a colleague of mine today. He's a local attorney. We have over the years have had several cases against each other, and we were talking about, and he was telling me how he's been in the last year. He and his wife have been trying their best to pay down debt. This is a guy that a few years ago I saw driving around town in a $400,000 Rolls Royce, and had a lot of payments, I would imagine, out there. This guy has changed his whole approach, and we discussed it, and I commended him for shifting gears and for understanding that coming into what's going to be unfolding in the next year or 2 years, that everybody needs to have the least amount of debt as they possibly can. With that being said, I'll leave it. It's about 12 and a half minutes today. I know the topics are, from day to day, they're almost overlapping. But this is every day we get new data, new information, and I want you guys to be up on this. Even if it appears redundant, this is all current stories from today that were released today. So, we keep getting more tidbits, downward revisions, consumer debt higher, new home sales have hit a wall. This stuff is unfolding fast. It's going to gain momentum going downhill, and all of you, please take precautions to the best that you possibly can. Insulate yourself from this coming disaster. I'm going to go get my workout in about an hour from now. I hope all of you do the same today. Please get your steps in. Go walk half an hour. Please try to get some weightlifting in to keep your muscle mass up. It's really important. We need to be healthy physically and mentally focused coming in to this next year. And hopefully we'll all be in a better position to take advantage of some opportunities as they unfold. With that being said, again, thank you all for subscribing and watching the video. I will see all of you tomorrow. Bye.